Namaste and Jai Sri Krishna to all of my universal brothers and sisters and family members. You are all my brothers and sisters. I love you all. I want to give you all a big hug. You are all my family members. Now today I'm going to talk to you about my favorite holy book, the Ramayana. It is the Hindu instruction manual and how to live a spiritual life. Now, the Ramayana was originally composed by sage Valmiki, whose original name was Ratnakara. Ratnakara was an evil decoy. I mean, he was a thief and a bandit. But he was changed by Narad Muni, who showed him the true path of divinity, true constant repetition of God's name. Now, Ratnakara was a robber. He would rob poor people and take whatever they have. And he would support his wife and children and elderly sick parents. So one day, Sage Narad came in the form of a beggar, a poor man, and he was robbed by Ratnakara. He asked Ratnakara, he said, Ratnakara, I'm willing to stay right here. Tie me up by that tree right over there. Tie me up right over there. I will stay right here, and I'm willing to give you all of the money that I have. But one thing you got to realize is that you have to go home and tell your parents, your sick elderly parents, your wife and children, will they or will they not share in your evil acts? Just ask them. Ratnakar just go ask him and say, I am willing to rob and steal in order to support a family and child, family, and elderly parents, but will they or will they share in my evil deeds? That got him to think. That is why it is that is the number one reason why it is very important to do satsang. Satsang means the presence of good company. And he went immediately, and he asked his mother and father, who were very sick and very ill, elderly as well, wife and children, will they or will they not share in his evil deeds? And they said no. They were ashamed of what Ratnakara was doing. And immediately he was, semi-enlightened. And he went back to the great sage and say, oh, Sage Narad, oh, it is very shameful. They are not willing to share. They are definitely not willing to share in my sins and evil deeds. How can I change my ways? How can I mend myself? How can I mend my evil ways? And Lord Narad gave him a mantra to utter the name of Rama. Ram. That was the mantra. But unfortunately, Ratnakara was uneducated because he was a thief, he was a decoy, he was a robber, and all he could say was Mara. But by the grace of God, that same Mara in Hindi means die. But by the grace of God, that same Mara became Ram. And he became enlightened and composed the Ramayana. The Ramayana was composed in Treta Yuga. And then came Kali Yuga. That same Valmiki was reincarnated and took birth as Tulsidas. His mother's name was Hulsi and father's name was Atmadev. That is the creation of the Ramayana. The Ramayana, the Adi Kalva, is the epic poem, relates the story of Shree Ram, the ideal man, the role model for humanity. It is the history of the family of the solar race descended from Ikshvaku, who is also mentioned in the Gita. Ikshvaku, Udanpad, Vevasta Manu, all of them mentioned in the Gita in chapter 4. in which was born Sri Ramchandra, the avatars of Lord Vishnu, and his 3 brothers. The ideal characters like Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shri Hanuman that we find in Ramayana firmly established Hindu Dharma in our mind. It is an instruction manual. The story of the birth of Rama and his brothers, their education and marriage, the exile of Sri Rama, the carrying off and discovery of Sita, his wife, the destruction of Ravana, the evil demon king, and the reign of Sri Rama are described in detail in the Ramayana. Step by step. It is not only a story, it is a way to live our lives. How a man should behave towards his superiors, equals and inferiors. How a king ought to rule his kingdom. How a man should lead his life in this world. How he can obtain his release, freedom, and perfection may be learned in the excerpts and the concepts of the Ramayana. The Ramayana gives a vivid picture of Indian life. Even today, our domestic, social, and national ideals are occupied from the noble characters in the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Again, Lord Rama is a role model. I would like to ask you this one simple question is, how can you be a role model for yourself and others? How can you be a role model for society? That is what I want to ask. That is the true ideal of the Ramayana. How to live your life. The great national heroes even stand today like a beacon lights, as beacon lights as guide to inspire the people of the whole world. Lord Rama was a great humanitarian. And not only in my opinion, but in the opinion of all the Shastra, all the Vedas, Shastra, Upanishads, etc. A humanitarian is greatest of all the yogis, is greater even than the yogi. Because if you're a humanitarian, you're automatically a service to God. The lives of Ram, Bharat, Lakshman provide a model of fraternal affection and mutual service. Shri Hanuman stands as it's an ideal of complete selfless service. How can we be like Hanuman? How can we be like Ram? The reason why we pray to Hanuman is that it controls our monkey mind. Our racing thoughts. Our thoughts race here, our thoughts race there. The complete chatter behind our minds is controlled by Hanuman. When we pray to Hanuman, it gets rid of the chatter behind our minds. It makes our mind free of selfless, of senseless thoughts. That is why we pray to Hanuman. The reason why we pray to Rama is because we want to follow in his footsteps. For example, in our cultures, like when we meet an elderly man or a priest, or when we see a deity of Lord Rama or Krishna or Vishnu, Shiva, we touch their feet as a sign of great respect. Also our mother and father as well. It is very important to touch our mother and father's feet as well, because it is a sign of great respect. And also that of priests and your elders, because you want to follow in their footsteps. Thank you very much for viewing my blog. May Lord Krishna bless you in all areas of your life. Thank you very much. Please comment, please view, subscribe, and email me. My email is at the description box at supremelordkrishna@yahoo.com. Once again, please refrain from asking anything that's controversial, like, abortion, affirmative action, death penalty, same-sex marriage, legalizing marijuana, stem cell research, or anything that's controversial. Please pertain your questions and comments only to Hinduism. May Lord Krishna bless you. Jai Bhagwan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shanti. Shanti.